AlphaACT HAZMAT is a web-based training solution for first responders who deal with hazardous chemical releases. Using training scenarios based on actual experiences of emergency response professionals, AlphaACT HAZMAT helps you improve your decision-making skills, even when event information is sketchy or incomplete. In this demonstration of AlphaACT HAZMAT's solo training mode, we will briefly walk you through the system's tools and features that you will encounter as you train through the various scenarios. Let's get started. After you launch the solo training mode and select a training scenario, AlphaACT HAZMAT will present an incident report describing the event that you will be training on. When you have completed reading the event briefing, click the Start Scenario button to begin the timed portion of system play. Characterize, the first step in a 6-step decision process, prompts you to provide the initial information known about the event, which, for training purposes, is contained in the incident report, which can be found on the right-hand side of the page. This may include the event type, the weather conditions, the terrain type, the substance that was released, the physical state of the substance, the number and type of containers involved, the wind direction, the distance to the site boundary, if applicable. The incident report may or may not include all the information you need to assess the situation, forcing you to deal with the same kind of ambiguity you might encounter during real crisis events. Working from the incident report, enter the information you know about the event on the page. You can also use a notepad to take notes about your choices and decisions. Once done, you click Recognize. Recognize, the second step in the decision process, searches AlphaACT HAZMAT's knowledge base for cases with characteristics that are similar to the event conditions you entered, then computes and presents the top 5 matching cases. To further narrow the possible matching events, the system walks you through questions that probe for additional, observable information. Moving the mouse over the questions will reveal images to help clarify the options. While you are working with this scenario, incident updates, information about changing event conditions that you need to take into account, may appear at any time, just as they would during a real event. As you continue to answer questions, the convergence meter at the top of the page shows you how close you are to identifying a good enough case with a useful protective action zone and isolation zone. The confidence meter above each of the cases, shown on the bottom half of the page, shows how sure AlphaACT HAZMAT is that the given case matches your inputs for the situation. The automated interview ends when you select as many as 3 of the scenarios that best match the limited information that is known and click Analyze. On the Analyze page, you examine the cases you selected on the Recognize page to determine how closely they match the conditions described in the scenario you're working on. AlphaACT HAZMAT also presents maps of the event scene that show the isolation zone, the area closest to the release where fatalities are likely, the protective action zone, the area immediately outside the isolation zone where serious and irreversible health effects to people are likely. Through a linked data sheet, similar to an MSDS sheet, the system provides access to information about the substance's characteristics and incompatibilities. Feel free to take notes using the Notepad feature. Your notes will automatically continue with you as you move through the different pages of the system. Once you've selected the case you wish to use as the basis of your decision, you click Customize. Customize, the 4th step in the decision process, shows the case you selected alongside the case as you modify it. Among the differences shown, crucial to your decision, are the maps showing the resulting sizes of the isolation zone and the protective action zone. Incident updates may still appear, and the Customize page allows you to adjust for them. Once you've tailored the case to current event conditions, you click Dramatize. Using the dramatized page, you can mentally rehearse the actions you intend to take. AlphaACT HAZMAT shows you the event summary information and lists several protective actions to consider and check. The incident map shows the isolation zone and protective action zone. The page also includes slider controls that let you manually adjust the size of the two zones. You can also view the hot zone and warm zone defined by the prevailing winds. The system also lists nearby locations of concern that merit special consideration during evacuation planning, such as hospitals and schools. On the interactive map, you decide where to locate key response locations that will be crucial to event response, including the incident command post, traffic control points, and more. Once you've set the response locations for the event, you click Utilize. Once the key decisions have been made, the Utilize page of AlphaACT HAZMAT summarizes the event conditions, lists your decisions about response locations, provides access to additional reports and position checklists you can use to put your plan into action, pulls in your notes from the notepad, prompts you to know information about meteorological and plume release conditions, as well as your evaluation of the practicality of evacuation, and provides sheltering and evacuation guidance. Having completed the training scenario, you can now review how well you did by clicking on Session Feedback. Session Feedback will display your score and compare the event you chose to the actual event that occurred. Your scores will be posted in the community where you can compete with first responders across the country. Afterwards, you can try another scenario or complete an after-action review of the training scenario you just finished. This concludes the demonstration of AlphaACT HAZMAT's solo training mode.